Hello, Maples. This is Mr. Perez, and today we're going to review the NWEA Student Progress Report. No, the NWA Reading and Math Test. Well, don't worry. I too stress out when I have to take a test, but we're going to help you with a few pointers in this presentation. Taking the NWA assessment is an obstacle you can overcome. Number one, have a positive can-do attitude. If you believe you'll do well, you'll have a better chance of doing well. Second, make sure to eat breakfast and get a good night's sleep the day before testing. And finally, you're familiar with this test. There are no surprises. What's the purpose of taking these tests? Well, it's a way for us to use your scores and track your scores in reading and math. Since we take these tests twice a year, we're able to see how much reading and math growth you gain in a year. Finally, we use your scores to identify which students need to be challenged and which students need reading and math support. Keep in mind, this is one assessment of many that we use to help determine which students are challenged and which students are supported. What is a RIT score? A RIT score is like an interval, an equal interval, like inches or feet, that allows students to compare academic performances to previous testing, national achievement and growth norms, state standards, and scores are based on the 50th percentile and do not reflect grade level. So let's take a look at your student progress report. Your teacher should have already passed your progress report to you. So let's look at the example. Number one is the student RIT. The student RIT scores, or your RIT scores, are the scores in blue on the bar graph on the left and the scores that are bold in the data graph on the right. You get a score for each time you take the NWA test. Now let's look at number two, the district grade level mean RIT. You'll notice that the average RIT score for students in the same school district, that's Adrian, and in the same grade, that's 9th grade, 10th grade, or 11th grade, that's what your score is being compared to. So if you're in 9th grade, look to your left and look to your right. These are your peers' scores, or the average of their scores in the orangish bar on the bar graph. And finally, number three, the norm grade level mean RIT score is the average RIT of all students in 9th grade who took the spring assessment in the United States. So before we move on, look at your score, compare it to the district grade level mean RIT. Are you higher? Are you lower? Are you about the same? And then compare your score to the norm grade level, which is your peers across the United States. This chart is the 2015 Math Norms chart. Look at your spring 2015 RIT score for math and compare it to this chart. Where does your score fall? Are you at or near grade level? Are you above grade level? Are you below grade level? Take a moment to find where your math RIT score is on the 2015 math norm chart. Again, here are a few questions as you look at your math RIT scores. Number one, find your most recent RIT score. And how does your RIT score compare to the district grade level mean score? This is, again, comparing your score with your grade level peers. How does your RIT score compare to the norm grade level mean score? And this is comparing your score with grade level students in the USA. And finally, as you prepare for your next NWA test session, what score are you aiming to achieve? Now let's go back and look at your reading score. Again, your scores are indicated above the blue bar graph and in the bold data chart on the right. Take a look at your spring 2015 score. Compare it to the other blue scores indicated in blue from previous year. Also, take a moment to look at the district grade level mean score. Is your RIT score above or below your peers, your grade level peers? And finally, look at the norm grade level mean RIT. How does your score compare to students in your grade across from the United States? Thinking about your score in comparison to your peers and in comparison to students across the United States, think about what your goal will be as you prepare for the NWEA reading assessment. Again, take a look at your reading score, and this is the 2015 reading norm chart. Look for your latest reading RIT score, again, above the blue bar graph, and compare it to the 2015 reading student status norms chart. Where does your score fall? Are you on grade level? Are you above grade level? Are you below grade level? And again, thinking about your score in comparison to your peers and your peers across the United States. I want to leave you with this final thought as we move forward. We want you to strive for excellence. Use your score to seek improvements. See if you can top your best score. The average RIT growth for a student in high school is 1 to 2 RIT points. So think about, as you approach the reading and math test, that you want to increase your reading and math RIT score by at least 1 to 2 points. Don't forget that the norm values are only the 50% mark for the grade level. There is lots of room to improve. Keep in mind that scores affect class placement. It helps your teachers decide which students may need to go into the SAT prep class when you're a junior, which students might need some Read 180 and Math 180 support to brush up your skills in reading and math. Some of you will use your scores to identify which students really need to be challenged, and so that we can talk to you about IB classes as well as AP classes. As always, show your Maple pride and always do your best. And go Maples!